What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we've got a bunch more Destiny 2 stuff to talk about. Quite a lot has happened in the latest update and the reset, so want to go over everything. We got some new information about Eva Levante and what actually happened to the old vendor, as well as, of course, the Thunderlord quest, which kicked off to definitely some mixed feedback. There's also some time-gated content and exotics that have been unlocked, some new rewards, glitches, and of course some broken stuff in the update that's not working correctly. So as always, discussing everything in this one video. If you enjoy it, a like rating is much appreciated, and let's get into it. So let's talk about one of the characters from Destiny 1 that has mysteriously disappeared and nobody knows what's happened to her. That, of course, is Eva Levante, one of the classic vendors of Destiny 1. There was, of course, the scannable in the tower that said she survived, but nobody's heard from her in quite a while, and of course, since then, nobody knows anything about her. In the latest update just this week, Bungie actually added a bunch of new lore tabs and a new section to the light part of the triumphs. Now, this part is going to be a bunch of question marks and a secret triumph, and to unlock it, but once you do, it's going to be called Eva's Journey, and this, as you can see, is actually going to be a tale of what happened to her after she left the tower. So it is a very long and detailed story, but I'll give you guys a quick summary. Essentially, it begins with her actually designing a new shader for Shaxx, the requested one to kind of celebrate the end of the Siva incident. It was saying how both Eva and Tess were laughing at how awful Shaxx's choice of colors were and his fashion sense. This was actually the moment the Cabal attacked the tower and they had to evacuate, and then at some point they get separated, and Eva was with a group of civilians about to get shot by the Cabal. Shaxx actually swooped in with his raise lighter and saved them, which is pretty funny. But then it seems later on she might have lost some family or friends because she asked the Guardian to save them from a building, and then later found out the Guardian and everyone in the building didn't make it, so she was grieving for that for quite a while. She made this system called the Underground, which was basically an escape route to the farm, and then over the months managed to evacuate everyone from the city that wanted to leave. Then she and her group were about to evacuate themselves, and she decided she would stay in the city in case there were any survivors. Then it says as she was going downstairs, there was an explosion in the street in front of her building, and then Eva's world went white. So I'm not sure what that means. It could be a metaphor for her dying. I mean, all we knew is that she survived the initial attack. We didn't know what happened after, and this, of course, tells that story, so it's possible she could have died. But I feel like even if she did survive this explosion, she might have just died of old age by now, or just retired full stop. Even in these new lore tabs, it does reference her looking in the mirror and noticing how old and weak she's gotten. So, especially, of course, in Destiny 1, it was made very clear that Eva was very old. I think her helping the evacuations and even wanting to stay after it was done is her kind of wanting to feel useful one last time and sort of planning to die in the city. But whether she survived the explosion or not, I kind of personally doubt we'll see her again, to be honest. I mean, bottom line, her role as a vendor in Destiny 2 is not needed. It definitely seems like Bungie wrapping up and putting an end to Eva's story, but this appears to be what happened to her. So of course, comment down below what do you guys think of this stuff. Do you think she's dead or retired or maybe something else? So next up, let's talk about the launch of the official questline for the Thunderlord exotic, which definitely surprised a lot of people, not in the best ways. As it turns out, the thing is time-gated and not just for 1 week, but apparently, according to Anon the 9, the trusted leaker, it's going to be 3 weeks. This, of course, is the same person that leaks the Thunderlord in the first place, so they're definitely reliable. But either way, they're definitely adamant it's going to be 3 weeks until we get it. So going to Amanda in the tower is going to give you the first part of this questline, which is the Journal of the Reef Cryptarch. So for this, you're going to need to collect 10 pages, and you get these from either legendary and exotic engrams, just walking over them or decrypting any of them, any legendaries or exotics, or the other option is to kill any powerful fallen enemies in the European Dead Zone. For this, you can actually just buy 10 legendary engrams from the Cryptarch in the tower, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's a massive waste of like 250 shards. You can actually do this in a matter of minutes by just going to the European Dead Zone and doing basically anything with a bunch of yellow bar fallen enemies. Basically any fallen public event. So it is super easy, and honestly I wouldn't recommend wasting 250 shards. You can much better spend those at the spider, and especially for you new players that don't have a ton of legendary shards. But either way, get these done, and this is pretty much it for the quest step for this entire week. You have to wait for Amanda to get some experts to help with something. Now, of course, we know in the later steps we're actually going to be going back to the old Cosmodrome from Destiny 1. A small part of it, the breach, is going to be playable, and that is where you get Thunderlord. It's basically a massive throwback to the very first gameplay revealed of Destiny, where the Thunderlord was the rewards. It's basically a nostalgia thing. But that being said, in my personal opinion, and I know a bunch of other people, this is definitely very disappointing. I'm never really a fan of quest steps that are time gated for just no apparent reason, like waiting for Amanda's experts or whatever that means. I think if anything, if this quest step had to be time gated, this part should have been live the very first week of festival instead of waiting all the way till now. I mean, the last 2 weeks for this game have been pretty quiet, so it would have been nice to have something to do during then, and especially at this point have the weapon itself. I think it's a bit of a mismatch how during the most quiet period of Destiny, where we could definitely use some kind of new quest line like like this to have fun with. We then get a quest step which takes like 5 minutes and leads to nothing. I think right about now would be the best time to drop a weapon like Thunderlord, but those are just my thoughts. Of course, comment down below what do you think about this time-gated exotic. Now, speaking of time-gated exotics, we do actually have a new one which did unlock this week and is available for some people, and this is the Harbinger's Echo Sparrow. This is something we've been waiting for quite a while now, but as expected, this is the reward for getting all 40 of the corrupted eggs inside the city. So if you shot every single egg the week the Wish Ender became available, mainly in the Ascendant Challenge, then this week you could do the final one and of course complete all 40 eggs. Slight problem though, not everyone is getting the Sparrow, even though it's supposed to be the guaranteed reward for getting all 40, some people aren't getting it to drop. Now this is not supposed to happen, Bungie have acknowledged it is a bug and not working properly, but it seems right now the problem is if you get eggs on multiple characters and not just one. So if you got eggs on a Titan and a Warlock, it's not going to work for you, you won't get the Sparrow when you get all 40. Bungie are still investigating, but it does seem right now the only way to get it is by shooting all 40 eggs on the one same character. It's also nothing to do with how many bones you've picked up or lore tabs you've got, and nothing to do with titles or curse break or anything like that. It definitely is unfortunate, but honestly I do think Bungie will fix it very soon in a hotfix in a couple of days or a week from now. It doesn't seem like a very complicated bug. We've seen this type of thing before where multiple characters won't count certain things, but I would imagine it's going to be fixed fairly soon. I myself am on 38 out of the 40 eggs because I missed the first 2 in the Ascendant Challenge the first week the Wish Ender was available. Let me know how many eggs you've gotten so far and if any of you guys have experienced this glitch and not getting the Sparrow, but either way, now we know this is how you get the thing. As well as looking very cool, it's of course styled off the Whisper the Worm or the Black Spindle, but it also comes with a very good set of perks. The same as the LC Bray Sparrow in Warmind, this thing is always going to come with a guaranteed fast spawn perk, so the best one in the game for Sparrows. So definitely not expected, but at least we officially now know how you get this thing, and it has been one of the last few items still waiting for. So next up, let's talk about a different quest line which also came available in the latest update, but this one does actually reward a new exotic, or a few of them. This is going to be through the Refer a Friend quest line, which of course was a thing back in Destiny 1, but now has finally returned inside Destiny 2. They made a pretty funny trailer demonstrating it, but basically the same as Destiny 1, you got a veteran player who's already played and experienced Forsaken guiding a new player who they recommend through Bungie.net. It's basically a Sherpa or guide system, so a way to incentivize people getting their friends to play Destiny 2 Forsaken. It's also of course right before Christmas or the holiday season where a bunch of people are going to get Forsaken, so that's partly why they do it as well. But there are exclusive rewards and a few exotics, new ones, that you can only get from this quest line. Firstly, you'll both get the Borealis exotic sniper, so the weapon itself drops from this quest line. There's also a new exotic ornament for the Borealis, and this is the kind of animated multicolored kind of dragon scale theme. There's also the double rainbow exotic sparrow, which is new, but as well as that, an animated ornament for the sparrow as well, which is pretty strange. We've never seen ornaments for sparrows, and especially not animated ones, so it's definitely something new. But then you're also going to get the legendary ship called Murmuration, an emblem as you can see right here, and as well as that, the Boon of Crucible consumables, Eververse bounties, and also legendary shards. I did also, on a similar topic, want to mention the Veterans of the Hunt bundle. This definitely raised a lot of questions recently. This was announced that inside every purchase of Forsaken, they're going to include the Curse of Osiris and Warmind DLCs for free, so as a reward for everyone else, they're giving us these Veterans of the Hunt bundles. I did see a lot of confusion and people asking where is the stuff, but this is actually coming in December. To qualify for this stuff, you had to simply just play Forsaken before the 16th of October, so that is going to get you it. But with the whole announcement and the update that came on the 16th, it made it seem like it might be added right there, but it's not the case, going to be inside early December. Most likely with the Black Armory DLC itself, because that is also early December, but just want to clarify that for those wondering where the stuff is. Now, there were a bunch of buffs and nerfs and changes in the latest update, and definitely a few things to be aware of. One of the big things is the reduction in duplicate exotics, so ones you already have, getting them all over again inside engrams is of course very disappointing. This is also being a bit debated because some people are getting new stuff, whereas some people are still getting a bunch of exotics that are duplicates. Comment down below if you guys have noticed the difference, if you're still getting duplicates or if you've got any new stuff, let me know. But they have also made it that when you do get duplicates, it should be a greater chance of armor, which of course can be random rolls, which is kind of a good thing. They did also remove the quest exotics from the loot pool, so the World Line Zero, Ace of Spades, Wish Ender, Thousand Voices, Malfeasance, Lord of Walls, and Chaperone, of course, used to be in the loot pool, but now have been taken out. Before this, you had to actually obtain the exotic from its source, and then it would go into the loot pool, so basically dilute it, make your chance of getting something you want even lower. It was basically pointless and made the whole duplicate system even worse, but now, thankfully, that's been fixed. They changed the name of Masterwork cores to Enhancement cores, put them inside Scrapper bounties and Spider bounties, and also made them drop as items and not the little tiny things on the screen. A couple UI and inventory things, but they made dismantling shaders a lot quicker, so that's definitely much needed. Also, you can hold 20 ghost fragments now. Banshee is now going to accept 25 gunsmith materials, so it's going to be a lot faster to turn them in, and have also increased the drop rates of nightfall loot when you don't get something. Inside Gambit, they have halved the amount of ammo you get for sleeper, so definitely a big nerf, and they've increased the spawn rate of the primeval server to the meatball by quite a lot, and especially next week during the full curse week cycle. They've brought back the breakthrough mode inside Crucible with a bunch of changes, but people still don't seem to be a massive fan of it. And then they've also buffed the Wish Ender Bow, the Malfeasance, and also swords and fusion rifles inside PvE. And then something pretty funny, but there's a few enemies inside Destiny 2 where their attacks were actually bugged. They simply would not do it, and they just would not attack you with them. So since Forsaken, the Vex Cyclopses just simply wouldn't attack you. Not sure if you noticed because you might have been shooting at them, but they just wouldn't do an eye blast. Also, Hive Knights and Taken Vandals would not pop their shields or their barriers, so something pretty funny, but again, they just didn't do it. But regardless, Bungie has fixed these bugs, and now these enemies are going to be doing these very annoying abilities again, so look out for them. So that is going to do it for this video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, a like rating before you leave is much appreciated, helps support the channel. If you don't want to miss out on my future videos and uploads, then you can of course subscribe down below by hitting the button and the bell next to it to turn notifications. To watch another video from myself, click this image on screen right now, my Instagram and Twitter link down below in the description. But as always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.